What's happening, fellas? Looks like we got Doom 591, Nuno Vicente, and Jack Black so far. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. I kind of switched the mic around a little bit, trying to get it off the desktop. That way, when I hit the desktop, maybe it won't echo so bad. So, hope the audio is all right. How are you guys doing today? I hadn't seen that pretty blue Carolina sky that you guys seen in the drone footage all week long. It's rained all week here, so I've been kind of stuck indoors. Been doing a lot of messing around with the printers and stuff. Off stream, I went ahead and built my wiring harness for the tool head. As you can see, we put the cable chains on, run the wires all the way around down here to the electronics bay. So I think we're ready to move on to the electronics. That's what it's looking like. I'm probably going to pull up the CAD and just have a look at it, and we'll start getting us a power supply put in this thing. Main board. Let's see, we're going to have our little switch and whatnot. Kind of checking on the screen here, seeing how many we got in here. But so far it looks like we got 5 of you. So, and I also want to say this, KB3D sent us a nice little reamer kit. That's pretty awesome. So now these over extruded parts that I have, which I'm kind of getting down to the bare minimum now, but they'll help me in the future, I'm sure. But it's a nice little reamer kit with a little laser cut box there. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. But anyway, let's see. As far as that goes, that's all I've done with this. I don't know if any of you guys have tried out Orca slicer. Everybody's been telling me to switch slicers, so I finally moved on from Cura and downloaded Orca slicer yesterday, and been messing around with it for about 2 days now, and I really like it. I don't know if any of you guys have used Orca slicer to slice your 3D prints, but now everything's in one nice little spot. I can connect up to my printer real easily through Orca slicer, slice the prints, and send it right over to the printer. All the calibrations and everything like that is inside of the slicer right then and there. There's really not a whole lot of thought that I have to put into it as far as looking at the layer lines and setting all that stuff up like I had to do in Cura. So I'm really liking that too, guys. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Let's see, it's like a little nylon spacer. I don't know where that come from. But yeah, let's see. Let me pull up the CAD. Orca is very nice. Yeah, I like it a lot. I love it, Nuno. I love it. Let's see. I need to take a look at CAD right here. I'll go ahead and open that up. Close out this. Got the slicer open at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. And we'll shut the printer off. Been playing around with that thing, trying to get it tuned up. I think I got it dialed in. Close that out. I hate to have so much stuff lagging on my computer to create some kind of stream delay because I'm opening up CAD right now. That way we can take a look at it. Stream's still going alright. Might have a little bit of a lag there for a minute. I'm trying to speak up, speak clearly. I hope the audio is alright, guys. Like I said, I moved the microphone around to try to maybe handle the sound in here a little bit better. So are you teaching us how to do this? As far as building the printer, or sharing my build process with you, if somebody you know maybe wants to try to follow along, they can. I'm still, you can't hear me over the music. All right, let me turn the music down. How's that? Is that a little better? Like I said, I moved the microphone around, so it probably changed something as far as the way I've had my setup. But yeah, I'm just showing people pretty much my build process, and just sharing my experience. If somebody wants to take it as a teaching tool, that's fine. I guess you could say I'm trying to teach it and I'm a student at the same time. I hope you can hear me a little better now. Let's have a look here. Thanks, great, awesome. Much. Let's see here. I need to pull up my CAD real quick for the ENDERWIRE. And it is lagging on my stream just a little bit. I'll try to speak up. Like I said, I moved my microphone, so I may have not put it in a very good place. I tried to put it directly above the printer. That way, maybe you guys can hear me a little better, and as I'm banging on the table and moving stuff around, it won't be so noisy. That's the thought anyway. It's taking CAD a little while to load up. Maybe I should have had this loaded before I got started. There we go. Alright, so just have a look and check on my stream health here. You hear me now? Awesome. Awesome. Pull up the CAD and switch to scene 2. And basically what I'm looking at is the step file. We want to see how these electronics are going to get mounted up in here. So right here's how the power supply goes together underneath this thing. There's not a manual for this build, so basically I'm having to kind of use the CAD that was provided for me for this build that came along with the STL files and everything. So I'm just kind of going in the CAD, seeing what screw size I need. That's an M4 by 20. It says socket heads, capture screw, and I'll also need M5 by 10. So we got an M4 by 20, and I'm pretty sure I have those. And just kind of, we're going to go ahead and get our power supply mounted up in here. And let's see, right here we need a M4 by 6. It says socket head. That looks like a button head to me. Yeah. And we'll get this mounted up. We'll go ahead and get our little terminal right here mounted up. We got this nice little shock thing right here that Steve Builds designed. And we'll get our our controller board put in too as well. So again, we need M4s, M4 by 6, and I think that said an M4 by 20, and an M5 by 10. You'll be back, subbed. Awesome. Good deal. Thanks, the one. All right, so let's see. We need M5 by 10s. And I'm not sure how many of these M4 by 20s I'm going to have. And as usual, I always need my eyeballs. Greatly appreciate sharing. Awesome. That's all I'm trying to do, buddy. Just share my... I don't think there's any... we got M4x6. I'm pretty sure I called out one of those. So there's an M4x6. I'll be lucky to find an M4x20. That's an odd screw size there. The unfortunate thing about this build is that they're really... Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Got some M4x8s. That may be long enough. I don't know. Might be a little too short. We'll find out. Might have to use the new reamer set that I got to make it work. And we're going to need some plastic parts. So we'll definitely need that here in a bit. I think we're after this. And there should be 2 of these for the power supply mount. And a little piece right there. We're going to definitely need this here in a little bit, so I'm just going to set this off to the side. And I may even wind up using the Wagos a little bit. The parts bin is definitely... the volume sounds a little low still, but you're at work with CNC machines, so... Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Let's see, Jack Black, you hear me much better? If I have to, I'll pull that microphone down from there and set it back where I had it. If you see that little wire running right here behind the printer up the wall, I tried to mount it up high, kind of like a microphone inside of a vehicle. I thought you guys would be able to hear me just a little bit better. And it would move it to a little location that was kind of out of the way. Maybe that was a bad idea on my part. We're also going to need this little fancy thing that I pulled off the old Ender. We're going to be able to repurpose that and reuse it. And let's see. We'll just spin this thing around here. Try to get you guys a good camera angle what I'm doing, and we'll set it on its side. Like I said, if the camera or if the audio gets just a little too annoying and it's too much, I'll switch some things around here. Alright, I want to take a look at the CAD real quick. Alright. So basically it's showing the power supply going right here in this area, which makes sense because your little terminal is going to go right up through here. So it gives us a straight path for our wiring, which is really nice. And I need a power supply. And again, some more Ender3 parts right there. So we're using the old power supply from the old Ender. And it's pretty much going to set right in here. We got plenty of space under here for all our electronics. I mean, we just literally opened up the whole underside of this printer to tuck these things away really nice and neat. And I think how it shows this thing mounting in here, probably gonna put that something like that, and that'll allow this to just kind of set up in there and rest on that. So let's hope our M4x8 fits right there, or 6. That's what it called for. Much. You getting me, Jack Black? Much. All right. Oh, just talk normal. Sorry about that. My bad. He trying to yell at you, brother. Just wanted to make sure you guys could hear me. So there that is. And this should just set right up in here. This little piece right here slides up in the, I think you want to put it in the little top extrusion groove. Yeah, that's probably how it's going to set. And we can slide it up as far as we go. So that gives us plenty of clearance right here for wiring. So that's really nice. I like that. Let's go ahead and get our other plastic pieces attached here, and these call for, and let's see, yep, so we have to find them M4x20s for sure. I'm just kind of looking to fill this out. Just talk normal, don't yell. Sorry for yelling at you, Jack Black. Don't want to yell at you. Let me have a look real quick in some of the spare hardware that I had left over from the tear down. I want to say that those are M4. They almost look like 20s. Not socket heads, button heads. These right here might be what I'm after. Oh yeah, I already got them. Okay. I already had them laid out here. So basically, we got us I'm pretty sure this is a 20. I just want to double check it. So we needed 2 M4x20 socket head screws to take and bring all this together. So we're going to put that in these little slots right here. I think the sun is finally starting to come out here just a little bit. I haven't got to work all week long because of the rainy weather. Being able to mount this power supply up underneath this this printer right here is a big deal to me. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Kind of tuck all this stuff away. This is another thing that has drawn me to this build big time. Was the fact that we'd be able to tuck all the electronics away underneath. So there we got our M4x20s, we got our little power supply mount pieces, and this thing is just gonna go right up in here like so. So now we need some M5 T-nuts, I'm sure. Yep, M5 T-nuts and the M5x10s button head screws. 36C, it's very hot here. Wow. It's been, as far as like the temperature goes, it's been really nice. Let's see, I think I got the M5 T-nuts up here. I've got all my wires labeled here with heat shrink on the ends. Let me know what they are. Yep, M5 T-nuts. So once we get to the point where we're ready to, and I just need to double check real quick because I can't remember. Let's see. It's a little warm in this bedroom back here right now, and might have to cut on the ceiling fan. Yeah, it goes on that top. So we'll put our M5 T-nuts right here along this one. And we'll get those lined up. This thing's sure is coming along really, really nice. I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited about getting this thing up and running and playing around with the new Orca slicer too. I mean, it's a really, really, really good feature. Let's see. Or a really good slicer. Grab some M5x10 button head screws. We need 2 of those. Grab a little pick tool here, and we're going to line this thing up best I can. And I got it slid that way as far as I can to get the most space that I can have right here, which is, I'd say that's plenty enough. That one started, and we'll go ahead and put this one up in here, make sure I ain't peaching any wires. And we just slide it up as far as I can get it. I'm gonna get as much as I can out of this. Snug everything down really good. And there we go. That's locked in pretty tight. That's awesome. That is awesome. Alright, so now, I think actually in the Switchwire manual, it shows you going ahead and putting this in right here. I probably ought to pull that up and try to follow it to a certain extent. I believe I'm going to have to put in a heat set insert on a couple pieces. Let's see. happened to the, yep, right here. So this right here is like a a little shock protector piece. I'm pretty sure Steve Bills designed this right here for this build in particular, and I think it has to do with protecting you from shock on this little leg, or it might be, yeah, that little leg right there. Just kind of, it'll wind up going over top of that, kind of protect you from touching that little plate right there. It's a nice little cover. And I wind up having to put a heat set insert in this, and then a heat set insert. Spin this on around here, down here in the bottom of this. So we got 2 heat set inserts put in, and we'll go ahead and get this thing put into place. But I'm gonna have a look at CAD real quick. I'll share my screen with you. That way you guys can see what we're looking at. I need to know what size screws I'm gonna need for this. Pretty sure it's gonna be a flathead screw, maybe. So, share my screen here. Did it share it? Yeah. Trying to make sure I'm sharing my screen with you, but if you see that little shock protector right there, it goes up toward the top. And we want to know what size screws we need for this, so let's spin this thing on around. They don't want to act right with me. Right here's what I'm looking at. Those are going to be M3 by 12s on that side, and an M3 by 12 flathead. So let me have a look. Pretty sure I got some M3 by 12s in here. M3 by 12s. Flathead screws. Let's see, we got M3 by 6s and M3 by 12s. So need some M3 by 12 flathead screws. I'm gonna real quickly stick a couple heat set inserts into these pieces. Can I still reach the pot to calibrate the PSU? Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, sure can. You think it would need calibrating? I mean, it worked fine for the old Ender. I know that the one on the for the Trident, it didn't need no calibration. It was dialed in. It's pretty dang good. So I'm just gonna throw a couple heat set inserts in here real quick. That way we can get this thing mounted up. Yeah, I should be able to reach that no problem, Jack Black. No problems. So I've been trying to tune in a new filament on the Ender3, I mean not on the Ender3, on the Trident with the Orca slicer, and learning a new slicer and tuning in a new filament at the same time. Had a little bit of fun in here for the past, well, pretty much all day yesterday. That was real interesting. But I think we got the filament dialed in. I believe printing that PLA that enclosed chamber. I don't close it up whenever I'm trying to mess with it, but just having it in that chamber, it definitely changes some of the characteristics and how that stuff reacts. So let's see, we need to, I wonder, yeah, this needs to go in on this side right here. I can clearly see that the hole's a little bigger. I'll show you guys what I've done. This is going to be a little tricky. I better get my eyeballs. Hey, there's Gary T. Welcome to the stream, Gary T. We're moving on to electronics for this Ender3 to Switchwire conversion, or better known as the ENDERWIRE. Glad you in here with me, buddy. So, I think that's it for the heat set inserts for the moment. Let RoboDuck hold my soldering iron. So I'm gonna change these wires out for sure. I got a lot of silicone wire in here, some fork connectors and spade connectors and all that stuff. I'm just kind of keeping the colors on there for reference purposes. But yeah, this I don't like these colors right here. I don't mind that for our protective earth ground, but I don't think it's going to be quite long enough to go from there to there. I may still use that one. We'll see. Day off. Are you playing hooky? No, I ain't playing hooky. So basically, you know, what I do for a living is I work in the grading industry. So whenever it rains like it does, yeah, we're done. What I do for a living, Gary T, is I actually, let's see, I think that's kind of a weird way. I think it actually has this up top, so our switch is going to be towards the bottom. Oh, actually I can see. Alright, so let's go ahead and feed these little wires right here through. But yeah, I work in the grading industry, and when it rains like it has here all week, we're pretty much shut down. I run a motor grader and grade roads, mostly in developments and stuff like that. So yeah, that fits really nice. And little shock arrestor or protector here, and spin this on around, so that pretty much goes up in there like so, and it's covering this little plate right here. The lighting's not really that good, but you can see that little plate. That's just to protect your hands so you don't get shocked. But so here's where the nice little reamer set's going to come in handy. Let's try this thing out. New little toy in here to play with. So let's open this up. Sorry you can't grade your exam too. It is raining. Yeah. Road grading, not exam grading. Yeah, road grading. Yeah, I operate heavy equipment, so I run a motor grader for a living. And whenever it rains, we don't get to work too much. It just depends. So that opened that up really nice. Hey, I'm glad I got to use my new my new tools on the stream. Oh, that's so nice. So KB3D, Chris at KB3D sent those out to us. It's really nice of him. So there's one. We got our little piece in there. Build it basement. The East Coast has been rained out all month. Not a great June. So really, it's not been bad, curb, but it's definitely this week right here has been the one that has hurt us. As far as right here in North Carolina, it has been flat doing some raining. Well, hey, I'm glad to have you in here with me. Welcome to the stream, Build It Basement. Hanging out with us today while we're doing a little bit of electronics. That's really nice. Yeah. I kind of don't like how the switch is below the power cord. Seems like to me I'd like to have it flipped the other way. I guess it could have been if I just flipped these skirts around. But I do like the fact that I got a straight path through this little channel that was made into the Ender3 to the electronics or to the power supply. But like I said, I think I 3D printed the, let's see, because I had a few Wagos left over from the Trident build, I actually 3D printed this little mount right here, and I may just go ahead and take these wires right into that and then run some wires from there to my power supply. See, Gary T, that would be a fun job as long as you have air conditioning and you don't have to pay for the diesel. Well, it's nice that I don't have to pay for the diesel for sure, and sometimes the air conditioning is really nice, but a lot of times we wind up out in the heat. It ain't always just sitting in a piece of equipment and operating. So yeah, you have that. In Maine, we haven't, I swear they got these little emojis on my chat and it drives me nuts. I can't see your full comment there, Build It Basement. All I can see, oh wait a minute, there we go. I had to scroll down a little bit. We haven't had more than 5 clear days. Wow. Now we've had some pretty days, and the job site was just about dried all the way out from the winter months. And then this week right here has just been terrible. Went in Monday, I think it was Monday and Tuesday I went in and checked the rain gauge on the site, and it was an inch both days. So, and then I'm pretty sure it's probably got about the same amount. Alright, so these little Wago connectors right here, they just should slide right in there. So, let's see. Oh yeah. Nice tight fit. Exacto handle might hold. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, Jack Black. I know it will. Yeah. That is a really good idea. Yeah, them little smaller bits, it definitely would. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, it's got a little collet in it. It probably would hold it. So this was like the bed mount print for the Trident. I just grabbed the STL and printed that off so I could kind of just stick me a little Wago connector in here. And I'm going to run those down into that. These wires right here, and then I'm going to run the wires out to the power supply. Oh, Wagos are great for AC wiring. Yeah, a lot of people talk against them, but I think like they're probably not really good in other countries because they use like 220. But here we're 115, so they're plenty good for this. They'll be alright. And let's see. Yeah, I could just shorten these little wires and strip them and just boom, 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 put them right in. And I think they'll be just fine. And I imagine probably 2 M5 by 10. Like I said, I'm going off the. There's nothing showing as far as this goes. I don't want to block these wires coming down in here. I got wires that are going to be coming in from. Yeah, I got wires coming in through this little hole right here, and this is going to be from the bed assembly. I believe I'm going to put my controller board right here, because that's where most of my wires is coming in from. My tool head. We got the PC cooling fan, or whatever you want to call it, the controller cooling fan blowing right on top of it. And the reason why I want it blowing right on top of it is because the board that I'm actually using. Let's see, I left them bolts loose for some reason, or them screws, but the reason why I want it right there is because I'm using a CB1 and it mounts directly to the Manta E3 Easy board, and I'd like to have that cool air blowing directly on top of that controller board. Get the most cooling I can out of it, because on this one I actually don't have that little aluminum heatsink like I put on the Trident. So there that is. That was tightened down. Make sure everything's snug there. Yeah. And I don't know if I left those loose. No, they're pretty snug. Just kind of double checking some things here. Oh, let's see. Wagos are great for the AC wiring. I like them. Makes it a little nicer and neater. Hey there, Build a Basement. They're approved and recommended in the EU for 220 volt. I think it's in some 110 volt countries they aren't okay because higher currents. I don't know. I thought I heard somebody say that they were it wasn't good for the other countries. But you're probably right there, Nuno. David Berry says, I'm late, but I made it. Hey, y'all. Hey, at the Poor Boy channel. Welcome to the stream, David Berry. We're messing with your favorite terminals here, or your connectors, the Wago connectors. Let's see. I think that's going to set real pretty right there. And I'm going to have to figure out some way to possibly... I'm going to ground this frame, or put our protective earth on a frame here. I may just run a little extra wire out, and I don't know. We'll get to that here in a bit. We'll see. Hope everybody's having a good day. Wagos are the best though. And like I said, I think an M5 by 10 will be fine for this. There's nothing really calling it out or calling for this right here, so This is just me doing my little added, what I think it might could use right here. Something extra I had laying around here, and I'm going to use them. M5x10s, 2 of them. Heyo, David Vera. Oops, I fell in the wrong slot. 300 volts, 30 amps on some. So they're good. I think they'll be good. Ain't that many amps coming through there. I don't know what these are rated for though, build a basement. Pointless to ground the frame. The anodizing isn't conductive. Oh, I'll scrape right through that anodizing. This stuff right here, Nuno, it scrapes right off pretty easy. You scratch it right out. I can take a bolt and dig it into the frame, or a screw anyway. Pretty easy. Like if I took, so right here, I'm putting a this M5x10 in here. It's probably, you know, of course it's going through the T-nut, but it's probably not bottoming out on the frame. So maybe if I put a longer, maybe like a M5x12 in there, I could get it to bottom out on the inside of the extrusion here and kind of dig it into it. And that's pretty much what I did on the Trident. I had run my protective earth out and into the little screw that was going for my Wago mount underneath, and put me a little fork connector on my protective earth and just stuck it right in behind it like so, and was checking all through the frame rails for continuity, and was getting continuity all through the printer. So the Trident is grounded really good. It's protected. And that's kind of a big deal for me. I had a buddy that was working on a welder. He was a maintenance man, and he just so happened to lean up against it's called a butt welder, and it welds 2 pieces of wire together. You kind of stick them together, and then they touch together, and it weld 2 pieces of wire together. This was in Hickory Springs. But anyway, the maintenance guy had leaned up against the welder, and his body touched the frame, and it stuck him to it. And it just so happened that you know, whenever you're in the maintenance and stuff like that, there's always has to be somebody else standing there with you. It's kind of like a safety measure, you know. And it stuck him to it, and he happened to hurry up and just, you know, knock him off of it. It probably would have killed him. So I mean, this is some serious stuff right here. I don't want to grab a hold of my printer and it grab a hold of me. But nobody, please don't follow what I do, and don't take this for good information either, because I'm just a hobbyist. You ground your frames out of good practice, and there's no harm anyways, just extra safety. Yeah, that's it. It's just an extra safety measure. And like I said though, the welder, the actual, like the protective earth had come, it was such an old one that it had broke, and he didn't know it. And like I said, whenever he touched that frame, and I guess apparently something else had broken there, and it was on the frame, and it grabbed him. It could have killed him. So I mean, you know, whenever it comes to the mains wiring and things like that, it's not anything to play around with, for sure. Yeah, that's the scary part, getting stuck. You don't want to get stuck. Nah, we don't want to get stuck. I really don't like these colors, but I mean, I think they'll be fine. I just have to keep noted of them here. All right, So that's in place. I will work out a ground the frame. Let's go ahead and get our controller board put in here. So I may just set this thing out of the way for right now. Let's get our controller board out. I can still hear those M5 T-nuts inside of these these parts right here that I put in, and actually are serving no purpose. It's not really a good place to, I want to grab it in the wrong place and in the frame now. We're almost there, fellas. So here we go. We got us an empty little thing here, and I'm going to shift you guys around a little bit. We'll have a look at this this controller board here. That'll get you a good angle there. Beautiful piece of granite right there. So what we're going to be putting in this printer right here is this BTT I think it's the E3 EZ, Manta E3 EZ. Yeah. BTT, oh, sorry about that. BTT Manta E3 EZ. See, camera has such a hard time focusing sometimes. Yeah. That's what we got for this thing. I think it's going to be a nice little upgrade. I was going to repurpose and reuse the old board, which would have probably been a good one. But I'm really liking the CB1 and how well it's working for me. Let's see. So we get that thing out and get it ready. You've gotten a shock building an electric panel at school. Oh wow. I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, so I won't be able to make the stream if you're on tomorrow too. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm planning on doing tomorrow. I just kind of in here working today a little bit. So this thing came with some connectors and stuff like that too as well. Let's see what we got here. Just dump it all out. Wow. They give us all kind of little connections and things. This looks, got some screws, some little jumpers, big jumpers, little jumpers, and these look like JST connectors. So this is the first time I took this board out of the package, but the reason why I got this was so I could just real easily click that CB1 right into there. And I think this is going to be a nice little board for this printer. I swear the camera angle is terrible. So let's grab the CB1. And I also got I grabbed, this is the BTT CB1. This is the version 1.1, but this one right here has the eMMC on it. So it's a newer version of pretty much the same board that I have in the Trident. It might be a little bit better, I don't know. It definitely has a bigger Wi-Fi antenna, so I kind of like that. You like how the GPIO pins are color coded? Yeah, that is pretty neat. Excuse me. The Pi 4B adapter for the CB1 wasn't even color coded like that. So I kind of just got this stuff and got it out and looked at it. Haven't really opened none of it up, so. this is I guess you can see it's got a little something extra on it compared to the other one. Yeah, it's got that little chip right there because I don't remember that being on the other one. I guess that's the EMMC. I think it even says it on it. I might be wrong. Don't hold me to it. I don't know what that is. It's got to be it. Alright, and I just want to get this thing mounted up in here. This should just snap into place. I don't want to put this thing in upside down here, but yeah, that looks like that's how it goes. So you've got the Wi-Fi module here. I'm just going to try to line this up as best I can over the holes, and it should snap right into place, in theory. I heard it click. There it goes. Yep. So there we go. See, I like how that just kind of built in for me. It's right there and ready to go. So I'm seeing that these little screws are threaded here. I just wonder. I bet these right here are for it. So this board right here, the Manta E3, came with some little screws. We can go ahead and thread that thing in there. Get it screwed down. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe sticking out the bottom. I do know that. Find the right size. Let's see, we got us a little nut driver right here. You don't want to start, fellas. Maybe those ain't the right size. It's awful weird. Looks like it is. These look like M2s. Looks like an M2 hole. Yeah, it's threading on that side, so why won't it thread on the other? The holes are lined up really good. So I don't have it on backwards, but it definitely don't want to start. It's kind of weird. I'd like to get this thing fixed pretty solid into place. That way, if a bump or something happens, it won't knock it loose. Definitely don't want to start. Not on this side. Kind of weird. It's very odd. There it goes. Just a little awkward getting it started, I guess. Pesky 2.5, is that what it is? Yeah, Yeah, it's pesky. So I'm gonna leave that one just a little loose for right now until I get the other in there. And it's awful long screw too. It's just gonna be sticking plumb out the bottom. I wonder if that's gonna affect the mount. So this right here is designed for the like a drop-in replacement for the Creality Ender3 printers, is the understanding I got about it. So this is our little mount for it, and I hope these screws don't affect the mounting of this board here. So let's see. I think just kind of having a look at it real quick, see how this thing's going to go. We may not be able to get it mounted up. Might have to do something a little different. Might have done run into my first problem. Yeah, this board right here is just way too big. Or I got it the wrong way, one. Just trying to figure this thing out, fellas, but something just doesn't look right. It's supposed to mount just like the Creality boards, or have the same mounting as the Creality. But it don't look like it. The holes aren't lining up. Huh. Let's go have a look at the cab. Maybe I'm looking at something a little off here. It don't look like it's going to mount up to my little mount. You got a similar board for your V0.2, a Melofly Gemini V3, built-in Pi, and 48 volt capable. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna have a look at the mount. This right here, this board was supposed to be like a drop-in replacement on the Creality printers, supposedly. So I would have thought it would have had pretty much the same mounting pattern. Let's see. And I'm going to share my screen with you. Oops. Sorry about that. So we're looking at this right here. So it shows it mounted in this little orientation right here. Yeah, that board would never mount like that. It's not happening. You'll never get this board mounted in there. So there's our first problem. We're going to have to adapt and overcome, I suppose. We're gonna have to adapt and overcome on this one. Screws sticking out of the bottom. So okay, I see what's going on here. So basically, I'm probably gonna have to get real creative and probably go in, maybe, I don't know how easy it would be for me to just modify this part in FreeCAD. I might can drop it in and extend it out. I'll have to 3D print this part. I have to create me something for it to make it work, because it ain't gonna go like that, and it definitely can't make it work like this either. Huh. Yep. Well, don't that just stink, guys? Oh well. We're gonna make it work one way or the other. Wrong printed part. Well, no, it's the right printed part. It's the wrong board. So this build right here, pretty much, I could real easily put the SKR Mini board on here that I have. You need some CAD lessons? Well, hey, so I'm not the best in the world at it. I could modify this part. We can try her out. Yeah, I have to drop it in CAD and free CAD. And I don't know how well it's going to convert this over. I know I can't do one thing I have tried to do in inside of what is it? Onshape. So whenever you drop a part into Onshape or in FreeCAD like this, a STL, you have to change it over to a part. So you kind of got to create a shape, and then you'll be able to work with it a little bit. Yeah, we'll try that here in a minute. Dang the bad luck. Yeah, these pesky screws stink. I don't like this. They just don't want to start. I'm going to go ahead and get this screwed down while it's on my brain, because I'll forget about it if I don't. Yeah, that's... And they look like they're wallering in like warped or something. Yeah, I'm going to get this screwed into place and snug down. Yeah, we'll take a look at it there, build it basement. I'll see if I can't modify it. If I can't, then I don't know what the devil I'm going to do. Might just have to create my own little mount. That would be a lot of very time consuming. Because it's been a while since I've played around in FreeCAD. We can give it a shot. I've been messing around with Onshape mostly. That's how I designed my little 3D printed drone. I designed all it, or that little drone, in Onshape. The CB1 uses M2 screws. Yeah, these are... That's what I'm thinking, that these are M2s. They look like it. I've dealt with them a lot. I could check them against I have some M2 heat set inserts, or a bunch of M2 screws in here from all the drone stuff. Actually, I might even have some shorter than these in here, because these right here are sticking out. Let's see. Yeah, see how they're sticking out the bottom of that board? I might have some shorter than these. Let me let's have a look. So I have these M2 heat set inserts right here. I'm gonna check them against these inserts. Because Build It Basement threw me off when he said M2 or 2.5, so they might be 2.5s. So take this little, yeah, those are M2s. All right. So I bet you I got some shorter screws in here that'll work for me. Might already be a mount out there. They might be, David. I know it wasn't in the files that I downloaded as far as from the Git for this printer, so might be in a little trouble here today. Didn't realize it. I hadn't opened the board and really looked at it. You guys see me, I just took it out of the package right here on stream, so yeah, we got some shorter screws here. Wonder if them's, Them's long enough to get a bite. I know these will be. They won't be sticking out of the bottom of the board so far. Just get them started. They ain't button heads, but they'll work. Let's see. Oh, that's much better. That ain't sticking out as far as the little solder joints right here. Am I trying to mount the board on the correct orientation? Is the printing part the correct one? So, yeah. So if you look, I need to be able to get to. Let's see. Sorry about the camera here. I need to be able to get to this hole, that one, this one right here, and this one for this board. In order for it to set in there. Keep getting off stream. If you look, really all I'd need to do is probably just bring it into CAD and extend this out just a little bit. You know, just kind of stretch it. Maybe even just stretch this whole little piece right here some. That would be all it would take. Leave the mounting holes the same because it's going to mount up just fine. The mounting holes are correct. I'll never be able to get to this top one because it's got all this stuff in the way right here for the CB1. So we got 4 mounting holes to be able to mount it right there, there, and there. So yeah, that's what I'm up against, and there's no filing or removing any material either to maybe sink the board down in there any further, because I'd have to remove a ton of material, and I'd be probably pretty much removing all this. So basically I got all my stepper driver and stepper ports right here for my stepper motors. They're kind of all in the way on this board. I can grab the old board. I'll show you the difference. Okay, what board is in the CAD? I'll show you. So this is the board that's in the CAD right here. This one right here is the Big Tree Tech. You could probably use, this is the SKL Manta E3 version 2.0. That's the board that come out of this printer. And you know, I mean, see how easy this thing's gonna mount right up in here. See, it's designed for this board right here. The holes line up perfect. Even the top one up here on the corner. This is coming from, and you can see the size difference of these two boards. There's a big difference. Big difference in them two. I mean, I could take this CB1 back off, get a Pi 4 B adapter, and run with this board right here. I'm sure it'll be fine. I was really curious about this board though. I mean, this is a nice board, and if I don't use it, then what the devil am I going to do with it? So there's decisions to be made. Quickly make or not quickly, but try to do some modifications to the parts in CAD. That has to be the same mounting points. It is the same mounting points. It's the exact same, like I said, Nuno. If you look, here's your, right there's the mounting points. And you see how close those are to the bottom of the board right there, the mounting points on this one. So you got the ones right here. So that big area from the bottom of that mounting point where all these connections for your stepper drivers right here, they're pushed down a little bit. This board right here would mount right up, no problems. No problems. That's what it was designed for. These smaller boards. You could probably use the stock Creality board. Apparently with this printed part, this board, and probably the SKR Mini E3. I think there's like a V3 out there now. Yeah, mounting points are the same, but the board is different. Like I said, I pretty much need to be able to stretch this part right here. Keep the points the same, but just stretch it out a little bit. And not only that, I'm curious now as to how that's going to set inside the printer. So that's probably something I should check before I move any further, and just kind of put this part in there and look and see how this board is going to set inside this printer. I mean, I could get this board in the printer one way or the other. Decisions to be made. The initial plan was to go with using the board that was already in the printer, the SKR Mini E3 V2, and just put a Pi in it. But I seen the version, this easy, the Manta E3 board, and I just thought that would clean everything up, and a whole lot less wiring, having the Pi or the CB1 setting and connecting right up to the board. Make life a little easier. Apparently I just made it harder. Poor channel, if you use the stock board, you will still need a mount for the CB1. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. I'd have to get me a Pi 4B adapter. You say go with the new board. You have one of those E3 EZs in your Voron right now. How do you like that board, Aaron? It was really, it looked really interesting to me, so that's why I kind of jumped on it. Let's see, let me go ahead and finish getting this mounted up in here. And welcome to the stream, by the way, Aaron. Are you working today again? So Aaron helped me out. Yesterday I was kind of struggling a little bit with the new Orca slicer, and I reached out to Aaron, and he was glad to help. Got me in the right direction as far as getting my slicer set up for accepting the new Trident. Yeah, I like that a lot better than them screws sticking way out the bottom like that. See how far those stick out? We're gonna get rid of those. See, it's just barely sticking out there. It's working just fine. A lot less PCBs to deal with on your build, running EBB36. You are at work. Working node. Oh man. Don't get yourself in trouble, buddy. Yeah, let's get rid of these super long screws here. I don't like that at all. So I may try to play with this file in CAD a little bit. I don't know how well it's going to work for me. It's been a long time since I dropped the STL into FreeCAD and converted it over to a part that I can manipulate. We can give it a shot. I might have done forgot how to do it. So probably like most things, I'll be kind of stumbling around like a bull in a china shop. It's usually how I operate anyway. Just trying to get this thing mounted down good here, fellas. Clean it up a little bit. You like an Orca? Build it basement, Kirby, I love Orca Slicer. I love it. Definitely ditching Cura. It'll probably be just sitting there on my lap or on my desktop for a while till I decide to delete it off of it. That's how much I like it. Doing your calibrations for your different filaments and all that stuff. You know, you got all those different settings just ready to go. You just click up it. You click on them, super easy. Drop them in. It's already pretty much, you got a model that's ready to go. I connected up to my printer real easy. I couldn't figure it. I had the worst trouble trying to get, and I still never got it, was my Trident connected, I guess you could say, like wirelessly to Cura. Now I can operate everything. I can open up Orca. I can open and click on my printer and see everything right there. So everything just kind of it works hand in hand. It's really nice. I like it. Cura is like your old friend. Yeah. Finally ditching Cura. You're a real printer now. Yeah. That Orca slicer, I don't know if you've used it, David, but I got it yesterday and decided to download it and was messing around with it, and I really, really like it. So this is a problem. Let's see here. Like I said, before I even get started trying to manipulate this part, I just kind of want to get the printer up here and just look and see how this board is going to set in space if I do manipulate this part, as far as the space I have inside of the printer. I'm almost 100% certain that I'll have the space for this board somewhere underneath that printer, because I just literally created all kind of room for it. So for right now, let's see, we just get some of this stuff out of the way. Should have just stuck with the initial plan of going with and using the old board there. I just thought the EZ would be a nice little update. The Manta board, I thought that'd be a little nice upgrade for this printer too. The wife and I also ordered the new X-Tool P2 system. Got all kinds of new toys lately. I hear you. You're working on building a Rook right now and printing parts for a 300mm 2.4 for the wife. Okay, very nice. You like how in the slicer you can also see main cell right within the... Yeah, that's a big deal to me, Aaron, as far as in the Orca slicer. I can just click on my device and boom, it's right there. Yeah, it's really sweet. Yep, it's really, really sweet. You can buy you some stuff next. Alright, so let's get the printer up here. Have a look at it. Yeah, this thing's getting a little weight on it. It's definitely looking a lot better though. A lot better than what I started with. I don't like having that weight on that motor. I just seen it wiggling a little bit. I need to put something under that. Let's do this. There we go. I'm gonna spin it around here. So my thoughts was, like I was saying earlier on, I wanted this board. I thought it would have just mounted right up to this piece. So we got the room for it, I believe. Kind of wanted it right here. That way, way it's getting all that cooling blowing across that CB1. Like I said, I don't have the heat sink like I put on the Trident, so I wanted all that extra cooling, and plus it's, you know, going across some stepper drivers from the fan that's going right there, so I thought that would have been a really great place. And, you know, I got everything coming in from the tool head real nice and neat. I could mount in here pretty easily. I think the only thing that would be a struggle is getting to my little SD card slot. But I mean, there's enough room inside this thing. I could probably bump this on down here a little bit. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's plenty of room here for it. So, now all that being said, I know that the board will fit in there now. We could try to play in FreeCAD a little bit, build a basement, and we'll see what happens. I can't make no promises. Let me switch over to it. And I probably need to close out. Well, I wonder if I could just manipulate this part right here in CAD, or where I got the. I don't know if I can play with this thing right here in it from. So let me switch my scene. So basically, and I can't see the chat whenever I'm in CAD, guys. So I'll try to stay up with you as far as I'll look at it on my cell phone. You don't need space to the top on there. Only the one on the right. You didn't put a micro SD in that slot at all. Oh, okay, cool. So I'll probably just be able to. Well, yeah, I can probably just flash it straight from the. Probably flash the board straight from the CB1, more than likely. I mean, that's what I did on the other one. So right here, this is the board in question. It's a problem. We need to make some room for it. And what I want to do is, let's make this thing disappear. And how I'm going to do that build it basement is I click on it, space bar, see if it's gone. I don't know why it left all that mess in there. It's crazy. I need to leave that in there. Huh. We can make them disappear. Just have to click on them and space bar, make them go away. And I am a rookie when it comes to CAD, fellas. So. I'm playing around with it a little bit. That's crazy how it left all that stuff behind. Huh. Yeah, flash the board directly. That's what I was wanting to do with it there. So I'm just gonna make all this stuff go away. I'm gonna try to pull the part right out of CAD right here. Wonder if I can get away with that. You guys see my little mouse clicking tool here? Oh yeah, you see my little arrow in there. Alright. Oh, alright, what size screws am I gonna need for that anyway? M3x8s, and these are probably M5x10s, yeah. Alright, how can I take this part out of here? Let's click on that, and wonder if I can modify it like right here. That would be interesting. Get rid of these. Click on that. So that's solid number 19. That's a solid. We need to create a part out of that solid. And how am I going to do that? So, transform. Can I move it? Oh yeah. Let's slide it off to the side here. I'm going to take it out to the side. That way we can look at it a little better. Hey, we're taking a printer apart in CAD, fellas. You don't know anything about CAD? You need to learn it. It's not easy. It's not the easiest thing in the world that I've ever sat down and messed with, Aaron. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's pretty tough. So basically, all right, we say, okay, we got our part outside the printer, and we got a solid. And I want to say that I need to go right here, and I'm gonna have to create a part. So basically what I'm looking at in CAD right now, I want to say, I gotta remember, there's different workbenches, so to speak. And what I say that part was, let's highlight it again. So that's a solid 19. We need to create a part. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go out right here, part design. So you see we're in the part design, so we're on a different workbench now, so to speak. So we got all these tools right here for us to use. We can take measurements, we can chamfer edges, create holes, and we can even create sketches. But I might be a little ahead of myself at the moment as far as this goes, because I need to take and be able to modify this part. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it right here. Let's just have a look. Let's say I wanted to do a fillet right here. So I'm going to highlight that. Let's click on fillet. It says in order to use the part design, you need an active body. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, object in the document. Please make one active, double click or create one if you have a legacy document. So we want to create a new body. Say okay. Select an edge, face, or body from an active body. But really, so right there. I gotta remember where I need to go on this part, and I want to create a part. I'm pretty sure. So it's been a long time since I've modified any parts of FreeCAD, guys. So give me a minute. You need to create a shape. I'm all over it, I know I am. Oh, Lord of mercy. Edit, maybe. Tools. I think it would probably be easier for me to just close out of this. I thought I might could mess with it and toy with it straight off the step file right here. But I think I'm going to have to create a shape from this design. That way I can manipulate the shape. And I can't remember exactly how I've done it in the past. It's been a long time, fellas. It's been a long time since I messed with this. Oh, Lord mercy. So I've got the whole part highlighted, and we got the tasks. Right click, express actions, copy, link actions. You know, some things in SolidWorks, but your computer can't handle it very well. I'll be lucky if mine can handle it sitting here running a stream and messing with all this. Oh my goodness, so I need to be able to create a part out of this that I can mess with. I have a part, but part design. Missing something, fellas, and I forgot all about it. Terrible memory. Let's see. Let's go to a new. Let's just do a new file. We'll save those changes for right now on that. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull in the STL. The actual part, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to create a shape or a mesh that I can manipulate. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, this is probably going to go over not so well. Okay, it's been so long. File, we're going to open a new file, and we want to go into STL file, Ender Switchwire main, STLs, and we're looking for the electronics. So there's the SKR Mini E3 mount. That's what we're after. Open that. So there it is. So there's our part. But we need to make this something that we can play with here. So there, got a part, and I need to create a shape. Yeah, you was just about to suggest that. Yeah, that's probably about going to be the easiest thing for me to do, David. So it's, like I said, it's been so long since I've messed with this, and part design. And there's some way that I can convert this over so I can mess with it, manipulate it. Because what I need to do is just extend. I need to extend these little faces out right here. That would be the best thing. These little faces right here, if I could just extend those on out, stretch them out. So let's see. But I have to be able to manipulate it, and I have to be able to tell FreeCAD. So I don't think I can just punch a hole in it right now if I wanted to. Sketch. So here's my planes. Say okay. Yeah, this is terrible. It's been so long since I messed with FreeCAD. We're gonna stumble through this. I think you could print that mount in PLA. It's easier and quicker for iterations. Well, so I need to manipulate it first, and I need to figure out how I'm going to manipulate it. Form other bodies of the same part. Allow use features. Allow external features. Make an independent copy of different parts or free features. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Here we go. So now we got a body. But that's not it. have the part in there yet. See. What am I doing wrong, fellas? I'm missing something. Edit. View. Tools. Because we need to create a shape. I need to be able to create a shape that I can mess with. Manipulate. I do remember that. Part design. Oh my goodness. Build a basement. I am the wrong one to be coaching you on how to do some CAD work. That's for sure. Like I said, I'll stumble all through this. Until I get it right, but I'll sit back here for hours trying to figure this out. I don't want to be wasting your guys' time. Y'all sit down and come in here with me to view a 3D printer build. Let's delete that. Let's delete this right now. I'm going all in the wrong direction. I don't have a part in here yet. It's wanting me to design a new part. I'm trying to create a part that I can manipulate from this part. And I need to create a shape from this. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. What am I doing wrong? Yeah, I'm missing something big time. And I don't want to waste you guys' time. I really don't. Part design. Why can't I find it? Go to link object, switch to its owner document. I may not be able to mess with it. This is a new feature right here I haven't seen. Reverse engineering. What is that all about? Huh. Yeah, guys, I'm not going to spend too much. You have no idea how to help me with that. So, I've done this before in FreeCAD to where you bring in a STL file just like this right here. But I have to be able to create a part that I can manipulate and work with. And how you do that is you've got to create a shape. Then it'll create like a mesh for you. Then you have to create a shape, or you have to create a mesh, and then you have to create a shape from the mesh. And I actually learned how to do that from watching another YouTuber. See, right here it says mesh design. And I need to be able to create a shape from this mesh, but I have to create a mesh first. I'm almost certain of that. way I can manipulate it. But I can't remember how to do it because it's been a long time since I've done it. Check on YouTube, mesh design. Because I have a STL file right here, and I'm pretty sure that I can't do nothing with this. Like, let's say if I wanted to, let's see, I've done gotten myself so familiar. Let's say I wanted to draw on this face right here, but it's not letting me just select the face. I'm selecting the whole mount. So I could, you know, yeah. Yeah, I have to be able to create a part. I can go into different workbenches and all that stuff pretty easy, but I have to be able to switch this over. I forget the video that I watched a long time ago that actually showed me how to do that and who the YouTuber was. Like I said, guys, I feel like I'm kind of wasting you guys' time. Part design. Let's click on this. What is this? Yeah, we've done been here. Completely lost, fellas. Because like I said, I don't know. Let's say I wanted to punch a hole in it, create a new body. Say, okay, cannot use selected object, must belong to an active body. So that's what I got to do using shape enter a base feature to reference external geometry of the body. Okay. Have to be able to switch this over to something that I can manipulate. Because swore there's some way that I could create a shape from this. But I can't remember how to do it. Like I said, this is so damn blame frustrating right now. I'm about to say the hell with it. So now, kind of hit a roadblock. I haven't had any good luck in the past by trying to put a STL in what the heck's the name of it? Now I can't even remember. On shape and switch it over. Oh, this stinks. Why did you do that to me? That's so embarrassing. It's not gonna work. Or I could just ask for help. Right here. What's this? Free cat pack. Use documentation. Windows. Range macro tools. I'm still being stupid. I'm trying to mess with this. Edit. So I have a part in here. Switch between workbenches. Copy selected. think they've changed some stuff around in FreeCAD too as well since the last time I messed with it, because it looks a lot different, and that might be why I can't find what I'm looking for. Unbelievable. I bet right now you guys are like, how in the world does this guy create this drawing in CAD? He can't even figure this shit out. But I did. I spent many hours, but I didn't do it in FreeCAD. Trim mesh with a plane. So yeah, there's some new features in here. There's some new features in here that I had never seen before. Oh, here we go. So we got import mesh, export mesh, create mesh from shape. Okay, let me share my screen, guys. I just found it. So they've, like I said, they've switched things around. So it took me a minute. I wasn't gonna give up. Let me get my screen switched over here. Is it switched over yet? Kind of waiting to look to see when you guys get it, because let's see what I'm looking at here. They ain't switched the scene over yet. Come on now. Waiting on the scene to switch over. Somebody needs a stream deck. I've been told that. Still waiting. There it goes. Alright, so I see that the scene switched over. So right here in mesh design, so we've created a part, and right here it says create mesh from shape. So we want to create a mesh from that shape. So click on that. It says surface deviation, angular deviation. Apply face colors to mesh, define segments. I don't know if I'm going to mess with any of that. Select a shape for meshing first. It's okay. That. Okay. Alright, that's not working. Cancel that. What in the devil is going on here? I'm missing it, guys. Dropping the ball. See the printer. Oh shit. Alright. It beat me today. Screw that noise. get this. Yeah, I don't know. That's annoying. And it's pretty damn blame embarrassing too, because yeah, that's just that ain't gonna work, and I'm gonna make it work. That's what I gotta do though. I mean, I have got to do it. I got no choice. I just gotta figure it out. That stinks. Didn't want to have to do that today, guys. I really didn't. I don't understand what I'm doing or not doing here. What's this? Compound tools. Working with a list of shapes. And I'm in the part workbench. Got a part. Got the board or the piece that I need. So I need to do some work to it. And I need to be able to get this part I don't understand why I can't make any. There's a way that you got to switch between workbenches. We're in the part workbench. I put the part in the part workbench. But I need to be able to do things to this. Such a pain. Create primitives. Shape builder. I see people dropping out like crazy. That stinks, guys. Gotta do it. I gotta figure out how to do this. I'm about to drop out of my own stream here for a second because I'm gonna reference and I'll tell you guys who I'm using here. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna, that way I ain't wasting no more time for STL and FreeCAD, and then I can link you to the guy. I can tell you the guy's channel that I come across. It's the edit STL file, but that's not. I'm trying to find you the guy that I actually learned how to do this from. Yep. So right here, the hardware guy. Importing and editing STL files is the video that I watched the video 2 years ago and learned how to do that, and then completely forgot. So please forgive me for not remembering something from 2 years ago. we got the part in here. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this, and I am going to delete that because I'm just going to follow what he's kind of telling me to do here. And like I said, this is the hardware guy YouTube channel. This is the guy that I followed years ago. So he brought a part into the part bench, and I can see it there. And let's see. We need to we need to convert it into an editable object, of course, and that's what I'm trying to do. Click on the mesh, he goes into the part workbench, and yeah, so that's what I've been trying to do, was create a shape from mesh. So he clicked on this, went up here, he selected part workbench, and he went right there, and then right there, right there it is. It's right in front of me. Oh wow. Let's see. So, create a shape for mesh, and enter tolerance for sewing shape. So shape, and we're going to make it 0.01. You're going to say OK. So, hopefully this doesn't blast my stream here. Alright, so now we got us a part. Okay. God knows, I was all over it. Sorry guys, wasted your time that long. Alright. Let me make sure I'm on the right scene here. For those that's still hanging out with me. So we got our part right here. And basically what I did, I was in the part workbench. I do have the STL file here, and I just went up here and clicked on part, come down right here. This was highlighted because I had the part highlighted, so I could create a shape from mesh. That's what I was looking for the whole time. I knew I needed to do it, but I couldn't find it. Anyway, we're gonna move on. You sit in the part tree. Right click, we're going to delete that one because now we got a new part here, and we need to create a solid. Yep, that's right. So how did we do that? Let me back up. So he's back up here. He's still in the part workbench. He goes up here to part, and let's see. Hold on a minute. Highlight this. Part, and yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh yeah, there we go. It's right here. Convert to solid. So there we go. Now we got us a solid, and I can see it. And like I said, I'm just copying this guy. Thank you, hardware guy, if you ever come across this video. I've used you in the past to help me do this, manipulate things, and I'm showing them to my subscribers. Alright, so now we got us a solid. We can see it right there. It says solid, so we can go ahead and we can delete that. So now I actually have something here that I can manipulate. Sorry about that, guys. Dragging my feet. Let me pull this back up here. See where we're at in the chat. You didn't see what I did. You didn't see what I did, David. We got it converted over to a solid. So this is what I needed to be able to manipulate and work with. I needed to create a solid from the STL file. So basically, I can go back and do it all over again, I guess. If everybody would like to see it. All four of you. You're probably the only one that's still with me in here, David. But yeah, so there's our part, and I want to figure out how much space that I need right here. So, and I think I need to refine this a little bit. think there's a way that I can refine it a little bit better, because we got all these little crazy lines and things like that. I need to be able to refine my shape. I'm not sure who's still with me. Because there is a way that you can refine it and get rid of some of them lines. Probably need to go back and just check him out again. Yeah, it looks a little weird. You got all these dark areas. Yep. Alright, how do you do that? Let's see. Clicked on the part. Went up in the part tree. Because we're going to try to refine it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't think we're going to be able to get it much better than that. Huh. Increments, model. I'm not seeing where you refine the shape in here at all. It should be right up here in the part tree. Maybe. No, it's not in there. We're on the part workbench right now. But I don't see it. I'm going up here and we're kind of looking too. I'm looking just to see where I can refine the shape. Oh, there it is. Alright, I found it. So create a copy. Yeah, we can create it in there. We want to refine the shape there. That way it don't look so crazy. It takes a little digging around sometimes. Playing around with the stuff to find what you're looking for. So my computer's thinking about it, and my stream's probably lagging. Oh, I don't know. It's going to take it a while to refine this shape. There it is. Now we got us a nice cleaned up shape. And I can select the faces individually. Oops. Yep. So that looks a lot better. Now I just need to be able to probably separate, I guess you could say maybe separate this part. You building this part along with me in FreeCAD? You are you you trying to follow along with me, David? So right now, I probably need to make a slice right here. So we should be able to make changes in this thing. We can go ahead. Excuse me for 1 minute, fellas. I'll be right back. Hello? No, this is Jim. Sorry about that, fellas. Sorry about that. Let's see. Let's go back. Switch these back to my scene here. Alright, so I need to be able to separate this part probably. Or, I don't know if I can. I want to keep these holes in the same places. That way they're accurate as possible. So maybe I can split it right here and extend it, or let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. I need to make a cut, I guess, somehow. So we can get rid of this old part right here. We don't need that one anymore. Oh no, it will break. Alright, let's see. I suck at CAD, guys. Really do. Super noob at CAD. I need to be able to separate that, probably draw on this face right here, or the face that I want to create after I split it. And how am I going to do that? Let's see. We're going to. So now we got this. Let's go right here. Click on that. And I'm going to go into the sketcher workbench. There we go. And I want to sketch. I want to sketch on that plane somehow. So it says select the method to attach this sketch to the selected object. So we want it on the flat face, and we're going to say okay. So there we are. Alright. So now I'm right here on this face. And this is so much different than on shape. So it's, I'm trying to remember FreeCAD. I wonder if I can just split it. Probably draw. I probably need to create a plane. Gosh, this is so much different than. Alright, so there's my plane. So much different than on shape. I'm about to separate this part. I'm overthinking it again. Hey, you still hanging in there with me, Jack Black? I'm surprised. I'm surprised I got anybody in here with me at this point. It turned out to not be very good. Everything's not going quite as planned. So I'm creating, what I'm trying to do is I'm just going to create something to cut this with, in a sense. So this is kind of what my thinking is. So I need to create, I guess, 2 different parts, and then I'm going to build on them, and then I'm going to put it back together, if that makes sense. So now I got my sketch right there, and close that so I can see my sketch, and I can see it over here. And let's go back to the part workbench. So now we got it over here at the part workbench. Like I said, this is so much different than Onshape, but it's similar in a nutshell. I like the Onshape because it's a whole lot easier for me to navigate and maneuver. I like FreeCAD for this reason right here. If you wanted to bring in an STL part and manipulate it and make your own little changes to it, you can. So now I need to remove some material. And how am I going to do that? Shape builder, primitives, create a tube, torus. That's not what I want. Revolve, extrude. It's a different feature in, so extrude. We're going to do shape. And I may not be able to pull this off, guys. I mean, we really don't want to extrude, we want to remove. Let's cancel that. Where is it at? What's this? Tools to offset shapes, construct parallel shapes. Cross section, sweep, loft, chamfer. I need some way to cut. David, you building this part with me? You're probably going to hit a brick wall like me. Create a solid? No. You don't want to create a solid. We want to remove. Length to extrude along direction can be negative, but length of 0. This would be so much easier for me in Onshape. Still 1, of course. With this, taper along, symmetric, custom direction. It looks completely different in here, but we actually created a solid just now, right there. You see it, I sketched it out and drew it, so that's like my blade in a nutshell, I guess is what I'm saying. So I'm trying to cut that, that's what I'm after. Oh Lord, clumsy as hell, and I can make it. And let's apply. But we want to remove. We don't. I mean, I can see what I've done there. Forward. Huh. I think this is what bothered me about FreeCAD was it took so long because it was sitting there thinking about everything that it was doing. It took forever. So I pretty much created like a little slim cut there. Oh, it's not a solid. So I need to go back in there. Tasks. And I forgot where it was. Let's go right here. Extrude. Back into extrude. And we create a solid. Now a solid, we're going to apply. I can't determine normal vector shape to be extruded. Please use another mode. Okay, so we want the sketch. And solid. Apply. Okay, apply. There we go. So there we go. That looks pretty good. Now I need to make that disappear, not extrude. I'm going to say okay. It would be nice if I could take this part right here punch that on out and push the part out for me. Let's I don't think that's gonna happen though. I think the only way I'm gonna be able to get away with this is actually cut them apart and put them back together. Solid though, I want to create a hole. Reversed. You've checked your extrusions. Reversed. Sketch. See, let's try that. Symmetric, solid. No, that's not doing it neither. So how I can go back is go up here and I can undo what I just did. Real easy. I don't understand why. Let's close this out. there's no tool up here for the hole. Create a hole or remove. And I was thinking that that's something that's like completely different. Tools to offset shapes, construct parallels, you have 2D thickness, compound tools, compound, explode compound, slice apart. Slice a selected object by other objects, split it apart, it will create a compound filter for each slice. Select at least 2 objects. First one, okay. So it ain't separated yet. Yeah, it's not happening. Ah. There it is. So there's so many different workbenches in FreeCAD. It's like it's not all right there. You got it's a random part design. I want to create. I think it's like a pocket. Okay. Can I use this command? There's no solid to subtract from. Be sure the body contains a feature before attempting to subtract from it. Here, let's see. Alright, hold on. Let's try this again. Can I use this command? Okay. It's not letting me do that. Why? Active body. So apparently I've got to create a body. Yep. Yep. So now FreeCAD freaking sucks. Or I just suck at it. Face tools. Select model. Create a pocket in there or a hole. Why? Cannot use selected object. Must belong to an active body. Consider using shape binder or base feature to reference external geometry in the body. I'm gonna let you separate it. Why is that? Line being in there. Why is that like that? I got 2 different extrudes going on here. That's what it is. This is the let's see. Let's make that disappear. How about that? So I thought that I went the right way earlier. So this right here, you see how it's not solid? That's where I messed up. So, yep, this is what I'm after right here. And I actually want to go back into the part workbench. And I want to go back into the extrude. And I want to make this a solid. That's where it was messed up. And we're going to say apply. Can't determine the vector. Please use another mode. Okay, can't find normal direction. And we're going to say symmetric. First, whatever. I had all that selected earlier. Apply. Nope. Ain't it. Okay. Let's have a look at this. That's crazy. So freaking crazy. I want to make a solid out of the sketch. Oh, there we go. I want to make a solid out of the sketch. There we go. Went the wrong way. Oh, this is nuts. Why? Why? So it pretty much just did it again. Cancel. Back up. Back up. Undo. Oh, I see. Went the wrong way. Went the wrong way. Extrude. So we don't have a solid right there. That's why it's not making the cut. Or the hole. And really, I don't even need those extrudes right there. You need to make that into a solid. So I think I went the wrong way with it all together. Let's try that. Apply that. There we go. I don't understand why it keeps creating all these yeah, that don't make no sense. It should be it. Might be breaking because I got it so close to the edge right there. See, that looks hollow. And there's part of the problem. So it created a solid all the way through. It went negative. Let's try it. Saying symmetric. Let's apply. There we go. So now we're all the way through it. Oh, Lord have mercy. There we go. Now we got us a solid that's all the way through. Maybe that's going to work. I don't know. I'm going to say, okay. So there that is. Now let's go back into part design. And model. I wonder if I can punch a hole through it now. I'm going to select this face. got that highlighted. Create a pocket. Just cannot use this command. There's no solid to subtract from. Why is it there? It's right there. Ensure the body contains a feature before attempting to subtract the command. Okay. So, which is kind of weird. Let's do this. Well, there is a solid to subtract from. It's right there in front of me. It's not going to let me do it. I don't know, guys. I can't even punch a hole in this damn thing. Unbelievable. Can't even punch a hole through it with FreeCAD. You got a face right there selected. It's saying I can't do it. It's saying there's no solid to subtract from. So what if I done this? If I selected that one. So yeah. Why is that? We gotta create a solid. Yeah, that ain't happening either. Yeah. Guys, I'm about to hang this up. This is driving me nuts right now. I don't understand it. We definitely didn't create the drone in FreeCAD, and I think this right here was like one of the biggest reasons why I got so freaking aggravated with FreeCAD, because it was so damn blame confusing. I was fortunate enough to be able to drop the step files to be able to kind of handle looking at the printer and how it's going together and everything like that. And I tell you what, it's aggravating me so much so to the point to where I'm just about tempted to go ahead and just slap the SKR Mini E3 V2 in there and buy me a CB1 module to put this dead blade board in. It almost seems like to me it would be a little bit easier for me to it'd be easier for me to maybe hunt down a part or create one myself, other than sitting here trying to manipulate one in FreeCAD. I could probably just create one myself, but it's going to take a lot of time and for me to be able to do it. I mean, you can see I'm stumbling through FreeCAD. Let's see, Onshape is a whole lot easier for me to work with, and I'm more familiar with it than FreeCAD. I have designed and created things in FreeCAD, manipulated STLs in them. It's been a long time, but I feel like I'm wasting a lot of your guys' time, and I'm wasting a lot of mine. And all that being said, I'm not really sure what direction I want to go in right now with this thing, because we definitely need a controller board in here, and that's the next piece to the puzzle. That's all it needs. It needs the controller board in there. It's got to have it. I don't know if there's if somebody's got one out there. God, Dang it, that's frustrating. I'm almost tempted to, just kind of looking at it. Yeah. Huh. Just sitting here looking at how this is going to go on here. I'm almost tempted to go into FreeCAD and create me just a little, just do away with all this mess I just done. Create me a separate little part, just a little flat piece, something simple that I could attach to this base and attach to the board. That would be so much easier, but that would take a little bit of time as well. Exporting files that you create or designs that you create in FreeCAD isn't really that hard as far as that goes. Whenever you get done with your file, whatever, see you can export it right here, and you'll have to export it as an STL. You have to set all that stuff. Yeah, I just feel like I'm wasting. I got to have the part, but that's the frustrating part of it. And it's not gonna, it's acting like it's not part of the, let's see, let's do this. Let's say, add a body. Okay. Body list cannot be empty. Okay. Views. Cut. Body. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just stumbling through this thing right here. I mean, it's driving me nuts. Say, it's not gonna add it. I don't have a. Yeah. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing in FreeCAD. I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's frustrating. Part. Cancel this. Pad. That's something I remember too, is like whenever it comes to trying to design things. Hey, there's Jose Ferreira. Jose, I'm over here embarrassing the shit out of myself today, messing around with CAD, trying to fix a part that isn't going to work for me, and we're sweating bullets. It's been so long since I messed with FreeCAD. Basically, all I've done was create an imaginary razor blade to cut through this that I can't cut. So. Yeah. Almost dinner time. I hear you. Just stopped to say hi. I hear you, buddy. I'm glad you stopped in with us. Like I said, we were trying to get our E3 EZ board on here mounted up, but this little part right here isn't going to work with it. Now, I am curious though, I do know, now that I'm thinking about it, I do know recently Steve Bills just put this board right here in a printer, and I want to say it was at Mercury 1, was he able to have a mount that was already ready to go, because I didn't really watch a whole lot of that build process. You gave up. What would ND, WWND, Jeff? I'm yeah, it's sitting here thinking like crazy, just trying to do. Oh, look, recompute failed. Please click report below. And this was a big issue that I always had with FreeCAD too as well. Whenever you try to I don't know if you guys seen me, I came up here and I clicked on this Boolean operation, which what you do is you take, whenever you do a Boolean operation in CAD, it takes two separate parts and it creates a single part. And that's basically what I was trying to do, just messing with that, and it failed. So yeah, like I said, this is just going to take a lot of tinkering and messing around with if I'm going to create a part, or either that, or I could probably hunt down one that's already designed and made. I don't know if David Beer is still hanging in there with me. He said he was trying to follow along with me in FreeCAD and, and do what I'm doing. Basically, we created a Jose Ferreira. We brought in a STL. We went into the part workbench, and then we come up here to part, and we created a shape from mesh. We deleted that part, and when we created a shape from mesh, we had a solid, or no, we had a shape, and then we came back up, converted it to a solid, and then we went from there and come over here and we refined the shape. And in theory, that's supposed to give us something that we're going to be able to manipulate and work with. So like if I could select this face right here, and I can go into, let's go into these are workbenches. I can go into the sketcher, and I say, alright, I want to create a sketch and I want a flat face, and I say okay. So I go right here, and then I can say, alright, well, I want to make a hole right here. So supposedly right there, I wanted to make a hole. Alright, good, we got a shape, we're all happy with it, or drawing on it. We say it's good, we close it out, and we can see our drawing right there, and it's something separate. So in theory, I'm supposed to be able to click that, or let's go back into the part design, and I should be able to take that right there and create a hole. It's not letting me do it. I don't know why. Yeah. Or pocket. Yeah, it's just not letting me do it. And it's been so long since I messed with FreeCAD, I have no idea what in the devil I'm trying to do. Yeah. So basically, I'm wasting your guys' time and mine sitting here messing with it. You can do Blender Jack Black. You would use the Boolean. Yeah, that's what I tried using it in here, but you seen it wouldn't recompute. So, and that, like I said, that was one of the reasons why I got away from FreeCAD big time, was because it got to be so aggravating whenever you try to put parts together. It would fail and crash in the middle of the part, and it just got to be frustrating. And I had it completely removed from my computer until I downloaded the step files to be able to view how this build goes together. So I just, on a whim, I tried dropping them into FreeCAD and being able to view them, and it worked out really well for me. And then just being able to like look at it and stuff like that. But now, yeah, this is this ain't working out too well. Because I should be able to just punch right through if I wanted make a hole in this. You know, it should be real easy, but it's not. So things aren't really adding up to me, and like I said, I hate wasting any more of you guys' time. And what I may do is, just for the sake of the stream and keeping it going for right now, I may just go ahead and stick the SKR Mini E3 V2 on here. Set the E3 EZ to the side. See, I hate to do that because that's really not, wasn't wanting to put that board in there. I mean, it's going to run it just fine. What format does that export to? What are you talking about, like what I created here? You can export this as a STL if you wanted to. I have done that too. Like I said, it's been so long. You can go right up here in the file. Let's say I wanted to export it. So go export, and see it's already exporting it as a STL. See? Yeah. And that's probably something that I have set up inside here too as well. Gary T, you all have a good rest of the stream. Great job on the printer. Gary T, we made it to putting a power supply in and that little bit, and then we hit a brick wall. And I'm talking about hit it hard. But hey, I see you, man, and I appreciate you sitting in here with me. But yeah, that's kind of, that's a little frustrating. I'm almost tempted to, oops, yeah, I'm almost tempted to just put this board in here. Maybe later on I can leave enough wire that I'd be able to easily wire this E3 EZ up after I design something to make that work. I'd still have to have the CB1. Dang it. Yeah, see, that's what's shooting me in the foot. Shooting me in the foot big time is that don't fit. Like I said, I don't know more than you have done. I hear you, buddy. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but shoot. What to do, fellas? What to do? I'm kind of in a spot to where I need to figure out how I'm gonna go around this, get around this. I mean, I could. I really don't want to just stick this board on the underside of this. I want it mounted solid somehow. I want it mounted some way, shape, or form. With a good solid mount like so. Yeah, there's just no way. There's no way that's gonna fit on this mount. Yeah. Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's frustrating. I'd have to extend even to get these things. Let's see. I'm gonna take a measurement too. That's something I haven't done. But if I was going to get it to work, I'd have to shift the holes almost 15.5 millimeters. That's a pretty big move. Kind of feel like I've hit a stopping point for today. Yeah. Dang, that's aggravating. That is very aggravating. So what in the world would you guys do? Let's ask how many I got in here with me right now? I've got 6 of you. I'm gonna ask the community, what in the world would you guys do at this point in time? Just keep messing around with the CAD and try to get you a part design that'll work. I mean, that's possible. I'm not gonna keep you guys held up in here I'm not gonna keep a stream going for 6-7 hours at a time trying to figure out how to get FreeCAD to work for me. I mean, I know I can, but it's gonna take a lot of time. Would you put the SKR Mini E3 V2 on there and just go with a CB1 and a 4B adapter, a Pi 4B adapter, or would you try to figure out some way to get that Manta E3 EZ on there? You know? FreeCAD is hard, man. I gave up. Man, Jose Ferreira, FreeCAD is aggravating. When I first moved over to and tried out Onshape, I couldn't have been happier. How easy it was. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was easier. Yep. Try to design a new mount. If not, maybe find someone who can at least modify the existing one. That's what I'm saying, David. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I could get it modified. It's just I hate to have you guys or have the channel. Let's just say have my channel open and I'm sitting here stumbling and bumbling around in this stuff that bad. I'm sure I could get to it, but there's a lot of things and stuff that I would need to kind of figure out along the way or relearn. And I hate to keep it going like that. So, with that being said, I think what I might do is just I'll probably hang up the stream for tonight. I'll get in here and messing around in CAD and FreeCAD, and that way I'll have a little bit more of a better understanding of exactly what I've done and what direction I need to go, and maybe I could tell you guys a little bit more clearly instead of me just sitting here. You already cut that apart. You can send the part cut up if it's helpful. Say, how'd you get it cut apart? How in the world did you get it cut apart, Dave? But yeah, that's pretty interesting. How in the devil did you get it cut apart? Yeah, I like the idea of designing a new mount. Cut it up in a different program. Oh, you couldn't in FreeCAD? Okay. That makes sense. I think, yeah, and plus me like sitting here running the stream, just like how FreeCAD just like crashed on me. Right, it might have to do with me running the stream too as well. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it, fellas. That's a little disheartening, and this thing's been kind of dragging on, and everybody thought they were going to come in here and see a bunch of wiring and electronics, and we showed off a little bit of electronics. We ain't even got into any wiring, and I've been going on for, let's see, it's 3:03, about 3 hours now, and haven't really gotten nowhere. Dang, that's frustrating. Either way I go, I've got no choice but to. I don't want to buy any more parts, so I'm not buying a Pi 4B adapter for that CB1. I have the adapter, and it's the Manta E3 EZ. So I'm like you, David. I think try to design a new mount, but I don't want to sit here and try to stumble around on stream and do it. So I think I'm gonna call the stream, guys. So you're gonna be traveling around tomorrow. You're not gonna be around. I may have it ready by tomorrow. If not, I'll have the part ready and fire up a stream as soon as I get it, and we'll get back on and picking up where we left off. These are problems that you encounter whenever it comes to a custom 3D printer build. You know, I guess you have to be quick on your toes and able to just jump into CAD and do things on the fly. That's not how it is with me. I have to figure it out. I have to play around with it a little bit. But yeah, guys, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think everybody's asleep now. But yeah, we're gonna hang it up, fellas. And I'll just come back in here, like I said, as soon as I get the part designed, created, and 3D printed. I think that'd be the best thing to do. Going out of town until Wednesday, so you might be off the grid for a little bit. I hear you, buddy. That's cool. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get this custom part that I need created. Hilt the part. Yeah, buddy. We'll see you later, Jose. All you guys, y'all have a good night. Save as STL. Yeah, we'll get it. I'm gonna get my part designed. I'm gonna get it 3D printed, and I'll get back in here on stream. We'll get this thing put together, and hopefully, we'll get it printed. But I think that's gonna be it, guys. We'll try it again next time. Y'all have a good weekend. Be careful. Be safe out there, fellas.